Dr. Jan Patterson joins us, and she's written a book along with a co-author, Phyllis Clark Nichols, called Breath for the Soul. We had a great conversation off the air, and I'm actually practicing something that she talked about, and we'll talk about that too along the way. So, Dr. Patterson, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, Kate.
Let's talk about why you wrote this book.
Okay, well, during my 30 years of practicing and teaching in medicine, and also from my personal experience as a cancer survivor and dealing with losses, including the loss of my son, I realized that while conventional medicine is very helpful and can do wonderful things, it's not all that's needed for dealing with the difficulties in life, like stress, anxiety, depression, and grief. And through my training in integrative medicine, I learned that there are simple yet effective things that people can do to be empowered for their own self-care. Among these are intentional breathing, movement, nutrition, and spirituality. So I wrote the book so that more people can learn about these self-care practices.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You talk about losing your son. You talk about cancer. I mean, there's people that are going through some tough stuff, and so you've seen it, and including your co-author also. She also had to deal with a lot of grief, right?
Yes, that's right. And she's also seen her husband through 3 episodes of cancer and being the major caregiver with that. So, we're writing from our personal experiences and writing from the heart about the things that have helped us, too.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. And you say it right on the cover, too, self-care, steps to wellness. You talk about integrative wellness and things to do, the breath, especially Breath for the Soul, the main title of the book. So somebody listening right now, and of course, if they get the book, which would be great, they'll find out much deeper things. But what can they practice right now?
Well, one of the easiest things is intentional breathing. And of course, our breathing is involuntary. We do it without thinking, but it can also be voluntary and intentional. And any time that we take slow, deep, regular breaths using our abdomen and not just our chest, this is telling our body that we can relax, de-stress, go from a stress response to a relaxation response. And we talk about a special breathwork technique in the book called the 4-7-8 breath. And to do this, you inhale through the nose for 4 counts, hold for 7 counts, and then exhale with a whoosh through the mouth for 8 counts. The counts do not have to be full seconds. It's the ratio that's important, and you'll be able to do the counts more slowly over time. And if you repeat that 4 times twice daily, this can really help us relax, become more calm, think more clearly, act more rationally, treat people more kindly.
Yeah. Is this something that you do every day?
Yes, I do. And in fact, many times I will do it during times of stress, like when I'm stuck in traffic or, when I'm at work and I find myself stressed. And then I also use it in the evening to calm down for going to sleep.
That's a good one. A lot of people struggle with sleep. You also talk about a lot in this, and it would go to breathing too, mindfulness. How important is mindfulness?
Well, that's really important. And meditation can help us with practicing mindfulness, paying attention to where we are and what's happening at the moment, not worrying about what will happen later or ruminating about what happened yesterday, but just really being present in the moment. That can also help us de-stress. And many people think, oh, well, I can't meditate. But there's many guided meditations out there that are helpful for this and lots of apps that can help with that now. And meditation and mindfulness have really been shown to improve both our physical health and our mental health.
And another thing that you talk about, too, because with wellness, of course, food plays a big part in that. And how important is it to eat more plants?
Well, it's very important. And actually, there have been studies to show that plant-based diets that include more antioxidants and less of the inflammatory foods that are part of our routine American diet. If we eat more plants and more antioxidants, we're actually less likely to be depressed. And it can help our mental state to do that. So it's not only good for us physically, but also good for us mentally.
Yeah. As a doctor, I mean, you certainly have seen it all. Do you think we're in a place in our world where you're seeing more anxiety and depression?
Well, I think so. And certainly the COVID pandemic has contributed to that. Many of us had to isolate, especially in healthcare. We had to isolate for a long period of time. We saw people only virtually and not in person, which is just not the same thing as sharing a laugh or giving a hug. So now we're re-socializing and, reaching out to others. It's not something that we can do with just a snap of a finger after being isolated for such a long time. So increasing our interconnectedness with others is part of practicing our spirituality, and that can really help us.
Yeah. What do you hope people take away from reading your book, Breath for the Soul, Self-Care Steps to Wellness?
Well, we hope that people will take away just some practical tools that can help them with dealing with the struggles in life and being empowered to use self-care to help with those things.
So important now more than ever. Dr. Patterson, thanks so much. You can get this book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, wherever great books are sold.
Okay. Thank you, Kate. Okay.